Good morning, fellow YouTube viewers. Belch94, another YouTube video. And yes, hopefully this audio recording will sound better because I am using the Apple earphones, so hopefully the quality is better than previous videos. So I'm doing an install of Windows 7 today through VirtualBox, just because on Tuesday Microsoft dropped support for Windows 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick install, and while we're doing an install I'll have a chat about the history of the operating system and my memories of using Windows 7, because I've used it in school. It came out in 2009, and I remember we had the Labor government in at the time, and they were issuing us schools with student laptops, and these laptops were installed with Windows 7 and they were given out before the actual Windows 7 was released. And Windows 7 was a big update, especially for the school systems, because before they were running Windows XP, and Windows XP, because Windows XP, how it was licensed to schools was it ran off one serial key. But with the Windows 7, what would happen is every 3 months or so, it'll connect to an activation server. So they didn't have a key for it. It was activated via a server that was in the school or in the Department of Education, New South Wales, which would activate the so I'll format this drive, and so that's how Windows 7 didn't get fully phased into the school environment until about 2014. I remember in high school that they were doing tests on Windows 7. They were testing it on the Macintoshes and a couple of Macs that they ran, because they had a Windows and a Mac environment on the computers in the computing labs, and I remember macOS Snow Leopard running with Windows XP. But then a couple of Macs, they did a trial of wanting to see how they put Mountain I think it was Mountain Lion on it with a Windows 7 alongside it, and that was just for testing. And but I found Windows 7 did run better in the Mac environment. Had better driver support and for the boot camp assistant and all that compared to XP. XP ran terrible in the boot camp. So this is the traditional installation screen here. It looks, and if you remember using Vista, it's pretty much exactly the same, and it's the same in Windows 8.1 and 10, I believe. Exactly the same in like that interface, the translucent. I forget what the theme was called. I think it's Arrow theme. That's it. Arrow theme, which was introduced in Windows Vista. But Windows 7 was released in, I believe, I'll get my iPad up. I think it was October of 2009. It was released to developers, I believe, because we'll go Windows 7, and so that. No, so it was released to manufacturing on the 22nd of July. General availability was the 22nd of October 2009, which was over 10 years ago now. Service Pack 1 came out on the 22nd of February 2011. It can run in 32 or 64-bit. So the support status. So mainstream support ended on January 13, 2015, and the extended support ended on January 14, 2020. And then extended security updates paid in yearly installments of 1 to 2 or 3 years for free for Windows Virtual Desktop users until most of January 10, 2013, only for professional and enterprise volume license editions. Installing Service Pack 1 is required for users to receive updates and support after April 9, 2013. So originally this version of Windows was codenamed Blackcomb, and was planned to be the successor to Windows XP and Service Pack 2003. So this was meant to be Vista, pretty much. And hold on, I'm going in way too far. Hold on. I'll go back. So Windows 7 added. This is the features that it added from Vista. Vista had Vista had a lot of issues when it was released. It had it wasn't compatible with any of the older hardware that was designed for XP. This is what Windows 7 fixes. A lot more hardware was supported for XP, so it's easy to do an update from XP to 7. So include improvements to Windows Aero, the user interface. So you could actually have like an Aero theme, like it was see through to the desktop, even if the Windows was at maximum, at full size. It added a new file sharing called Home Group, a redesigned taskbar, which we'll have a look at once the system is installed. It came with Windows Internet Explorer 8, Windows Media Player, which I think it was 11, and I think Service Pack 1 came with 12, I believe, and also a Windows Media Center. So in 6 months, after its launch, they sold 100 million copies. And it increased to 630 million by July 2012. As of November 2019, this is a bit old, 27.98% of the traditional PCs running Windows are running Windows 7. So, but it still had, Windows 7 at that time had 60% of the market share, which is still, if you think about it, back in 2014 that was the same with XP. And once XP dropped support, everyone jumped to Windows 7. Because Windows 8 wasn't very popular, people didn't like the design interface, but one thing I did like with Windows 8 though was how good it worked with older hardware. The interface wasn't the most friendliest or easiest to use compared to like Windows 7, but yeah, it was just, yeah. So originally they were going to, the history of Windows 7 goes back to before Vista was released, codenamed Blackcomb, which I said before. So that was planned to replace XP on Windows Server 2003 in 2000. That makes no sense. So the features planned for Blackcomb was including emphasis on searching and querying data, event storage systems named WinFS to enable such. However, an interim line release codenamed Longhorn was announced for 2003, but delaying the development of Blackcomb. By the middle of 2003, however, Longhorn, we'll restart the machine now. Longhorn had acquired some of the features, Microsoft changed the development priorities, putting, we'll go enter, boot. So, Microsoft changed its development because at the time during this, I think they had to delay it was because there was a lot of vulnerabilities coming through at that time, and they had to release patch updates for XP in 2000, and I believe with 98 as well. But the Longhorn development was restarted in 2004 because they had to drop support for Windows NT 4.0 because it was pretty much that bad. They couldn't to fix the system. They would have had to rewrite the system, and it wasn't really worth it. So they dropped support of it by the end of that year. Because Windows Vista was highly criticised because it had a long development time. Because Windows Vista should have been what Windows 7 is. But the problem with Microsoft, I think they get too antsy because Apple released an OS earlier that year, and that means they had to get something out very quick. Because I think it was Leopard that got released in 2007 or 2006, I think it was. But yeah. But then 6 months following the release of Vista, after Vista was released, it got criticised with hardware support. They had a lawsuit because there was machines saying Vista capable, but really they couldn't run Vista at all. And yeah, so yeah, the code name for Windows 7 was Windows 7, and they just stick with the name Windows 7. So it started off looking like Vista, like most beta does, and then it develops into what we got Windows 7 today. So in 2008 they announced. So in 2008 that's when they announced Windows 7 to be the operating system. It'll be targeted as 6.1. So it'll include it'll have increased compatibility in applications that only check major version numbers, similar to 2000 XP, both having 5X version numbers. The first external release from Microsoft partner with Milestone. So Milestone 1 came out in January 2008. So pretty much Windows 7 was, yeah, as I said before, whatever, just a friendlier version of Vista. So you get thumbnails, which we'll go through. We'll have a look at the taskbar, layouts in the control panel, Action Center, which was introduced in Windows 7, which I believe is still in Windows 10, I believe. So they removed some of the features. Weren't with Windows 7, so you had Windows Photo Gallery, Windows Movie Maker, Windows Calendar, and Windows Mail. So I think that was just to make it easier the system, make it more so it can run on lower end hardware. So they made a starter version, which was a stripped down version of 7, which doesn't have arrows, support, or anything like that. Designed for netbooks. The system requirements for Windows 7 is probably what you want to know before you get into the setup of the computer. So, a 30-bit operating system, you need a 1 GHz processor with 1 gig of RAM, a DirectX 9 graphics card with WDD driver model 1.0, storage base 16 gigs. The installation method would be by DVD drive or USB drive. The 64-bit version need 1 GHz x86 64 processor, 2 GB of RAM, and 20 gig hard drive. So we'll type in the name, Mobility 94. Password, we'll just skip that. Skip that because we'll just use the recommended settings. Time looks about right, 9:45. Yep. 19th of Jan. Yep. So we'll go home. So just applying the settings. Setup in Windows, since with Windows 7 and Vista, setup was a lot easier. Because Apple had that feature before with the ease of setup, but this is a lot easier out of the box experience. Now it's just so you just had to click, type your details in, like your name of the machine, product key if you need to install it. It was just so installing Windows OS, like installing operating systems now, is a lot easier than what it was back in the day, because before that you had to find drivers and stuff. So what we'll do first, I'll install the. So just preparing the desktop for the first time, and yeah, the dog's going off. So just preparing the desktop. Taking this now we're on the desktop. So we've got sound. So what I'll do is I'll go input, device optical. I don't remember how you install the drive. Yeah, here we go. Insert. So if I go go to computer. Let's install. We're going to go x86. And next. Oh, we don't need that. So install. So that's just the driver setup for VirtualBox. So we should get the Aero theme after it's installed. We'll go install. Yeah. So it tells you what it's doing. It's instructing installing it to where. My dog's he's barking, which is annoying. Excuse me for a sec. That's enough, Spike! Quiet! Sorry about that. Let's install that. Installing all the drivers. I think it's time though. Yeah. Okay, we'll reboot now. It's rebooting. And there's the iconic Windows 7 wallpaper. So just shutting down, booting, shutting down, and then shouldn't take too long. There we go, reboot the VirtualBox screen. Now it's going to boot, starting Windows. Should have the Aero theme once it restarts. So, yeah. Please wait. Welcome. So this is the same screen that was used in Vista as well, just a different background, obviously. Now we're on Windows 7. I'll try and make it full screen. View, full screen mode. Switch. That's better. We'll change the theme. We'll go personalize. We'll go Windows 7 Aero. For some reason I'm not getting Aero support. I don't know why. So let's have some of the classic Windows. So we'll have a look and see what it's doing. For some reason we're not getting it. Next. It's detecting the problems for Aero. I don't know. Updating the Windows Experience Index score. Now that'll be very interesting. We'll go and have a look at that later. Resolving the problem with the video card detecting. So apparently the driver, okay, so it doesn't support Aero, right out. So here's the interface. I put the Australia, there's Australia. So as you can hear, you get a new design taskbar. Your start menu has been redesigned, looks more friendlier than Vista. So you have your Windows Update, which looks the same. It comes with sticky notes. which was a first for. I don't think Vista had that feature, and there's your Windows Media Center, which will open up. Okay, for some reason it's not liking the video card. There you go, it's open now. So you can use your PC as a DVR. You can use it with the Xbox. So continue. Express, we'll go Express. So there you go. That's Windows. That's your Windows Media Center. It has installed. It's got Windows. I think it's got IE 11, but it came with IE 8 originally. So I'll open up Internet Explorer. So if we go about Internet Explorer, which won't let me at the moment. It's taking its time. Date and time looks different. This is a show your desktop button. File Explorer. It's different. So this is your libraries. So looks similar to Vista. Your home group tab there. Your network there. It makes sounds. Downloads. Accessor. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We'll close that. Then we'll go. You got Windows DVD Maker on here. And if you go to accessories, you got your calculator, command prompt. Yeah, so it's Internet Explorer 11. Run, Easy Tools, System, PC, Windows PowerShell. System tools, yeah, Internet Explorer, no add-on, control panel. Go to control panel. So here's the control panel. It's taking its time to load. You can view it this way. I find it easy to view by large icons. So you got your Action Center, which will go in. This is what your Action Center looks like. Color management. Fonts, keyboard, parental controls, program and features. User accounts. For some reason, every time I click on something, it makes a fucking. Sorry, my language. Sorry. Desktop gadgets, which I don't think work anymore. They dropped support for that. Oh no, it works. There you go. It does work. So the difference between this and Vista is you can actually move stuff around. So there's a slide, you can put this in, you can put that in, you can put that in, the weather, puzzle to play with when you're bored, you can go. Yeah, pretty cool. But I thought they removed it just because of power options, and there's updates. System. So if we go into system. So this is the system, so. Your device manager. So pretty much nothing's really changed, but there's like and this is the non-arrow theme what it looks like. So this would run on systems that didn't support. So you can get let's get more. So you get Microsoft Edge. I believe you can run that on Windows 7. I believe that is compatible with Windows 7 because they released a beta version for Windows 7, so yeah. So it's taking its time. The internet's quite slow on this. So there you go, you can download. So I'll download it, we'll go accept that in. Because Internet Explorer 11 is quite obsolete now and outdated. Edge also has a lot of the compatibility things with that's in that's in IE 11. Paint has a different interface, so we'll have a look at Paint. So Paint has a different interface compared to Vista. We'll minimise that. So, also I believe you've also got, which wasn't in Vista, I don't think, was snipping tool, so you can take screenshots of the screen when it loads. Games. So pretty much got all the same games that came with Vista, all in there. Maintenance, which I don't know what is. So you can do a backup and restore. Windows remote assistance. I don't know what that's doing. It's moving something. Startup empty. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure you can get a score. I just got to find out where you go to do it. So it's on speak recognition. Getting started. Administrative tools. That's for backup and restore. There's your snipping tool. Performance information and tools. Here you go. So we'll rate this computer. This will take a little bit. So I'm guessing I'm going to get a low graphics performance. I'm expecting that. I might crash this computer. I think I might have crashed it. It's locked. It's just logged. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's making some sound, so it's... Okay, so I couldn't do the index, so it must be that bad that it can't do it. That's funny. So you got visual advanced tools. We'll have a quick look at Edge. It's installing Edge. We'll close Internet Crappy Explorer. For some reason we don't get, because it's in the non-error mode, you don't get to see the pages, because you usually get like a little square thing that pops up. For some reason it's not popping up on here, but yeah, it should. So you got your documents. Yeah, just it has this. This is the last version of Windows 2 to have a different that will support Classic. So we'll push this, and this will come. This will be the Classic environment. You can change your screensaver, sounds, display. So this is what the Classic environment looks like. Edge is installed. We'll have a look at Edge. So we'll go back. For some reason it's coming with Windows. That's Windows 7 based. So we'll go Windows 7 Aero, and it won't work. So we'll have a look at the sounds and the screensavers very quickly, and then I'll end this video. So we'll have a quick look at that Edge browser. So sounds. Okay, I do apologise for the pop-up. So as your sound, so if you play a sound, you could. I've had people change it so you can have like the Windows XP or 2000 sounds. So I'll close this off. So this is what Edge looks like. It looks very similar to it's built off Chrome, so it's like the Chromium web source, and it runs horribly on this computer because it's only got 1 gig of RAM. So I say it's a very RAM hungry program too. If it's like Chrome, anyway. For some reason it's not closing. Screensavers, which we'll have a quick look at. So you can go none. You got 3D text. For some reason none of these will work. Bubbles. No, for some reason my card is not. It's not liking my graphics on this computer. I don't know why. But that is weird. So you got Edge installed. Yeah. close out of here. I'll get rid of all these. Also, you can get screen resolution, so you can we can go as high as 920 by 1080. We'll go to low res. So it'll look like on the screen. This will look terrible. And that's what it looks like. So we'll revert back. Yeah. For some reason, it's put itself in the taskbar twice. Magnify is really good. This is a lot of important feature which help people with that have seeing disabilities. You can move around and see. So there's a recycle bin. You can make it a bit bigger. So we'll close that. Recycling bins down here. I'll put that back. Devices, default, help and support. Let's look at, we'll go into the Windows Get Started just for the old memories. So this is what happens. So you could go on, so we'll have a quick look at this. Say Windows is our support. So you can back up your files, new features, personalise your Windows more, you add more personality, and as we see here, well, there's still stuff about Windows 7, and it's telling you Windows 7 support ended on get details to learn what it means for you. So yeah. So really, we're going to close this down for one last time, and then I'm going to end this video. So we're going to go start, shut down, and there we go. Goodbye Windows 7. It's been good 10 years having you here. I've had ups and downs with you. I've had you run really good on some systems and run like an absolute dog on other systems like Vista. But you're quite popular. You're the you sort of helped the transition from XP to XP to a newer version, but in the end, you didn't really do. A lot of people still wanted to use XP, but Windows 7, pretty much everyone went to Windows 7 once XP lost support, so it had a higher. Still, I wouldn't be surprised it's still being used by a fair few people in the market, and also it's still being used in businesses. I know my work is still using Windows 7 on their machines, so yeah. So anyway, I'm going to finish this now. I want to say thank you guys for watching. Bye for now, and I will see you in the next video.